Okay, I am here in my round pen in Oklahoma, and I'm getting ready to put the first ride on this horse here. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to make a video and show the checklist of things that I want to be working before I put the first ride on a horse. And there's a saying among cowboys and trainers that the older you get, the better your groundwork gets, or every time you hit the ground, your groundwork gets better. Both of those are the same thing, and they're both true. So now that I've been doing this a number of years, I've gotten to where I do a lot of this. Younger days, not so much. So I want to show you the things that I want to work on this horse before I ever get on him. So first thing is I want to be able to lunge him a little bit. I'm going to point, pluck. I want him to trot around me here and not be pulling on me. Notice there's a fairly loose rein there. I want to be able to yield his hindquarters by looking at them. I want him to move that way when I point, which he did. Trot around this way on a fairly loose rein. If he pulls on a little bit, I'll pop it, tighten it up. Move his hindquarters. Move out a little faster. I want to be able to look at his hip, look at his shoulder, move him over, look at his hip, point, go. Go. Okay. Back up. Back up. Okay. All of that has to do with me being able to control every part of this horse. And do you have to have all this before you ride? You don't have to do anything. But if you do, if you can move every part of the horse before you get on him, then you will find that it's a lot easier get that horse to cooperate when you're riding him. And in recent years, I've gotten to where I do a lot of ground driving before I ride the horse, and I'll show you why I do it. You don't have to do this, and there are a lot of guys today and girls, trainers, who don't do the ground driving, either that or they do it after they start riding the horse. Again, I'm not trying to say that that's the wrong way to do it, but this works a lot better for me. If I can get all of this working on this horse before I ride him, then I have a lot better control when I actually ride the horse. He just took off there. He anticipated me. I'm going to make him stop. He anticipated me because he knows what I'm about to do. I've been ground driving this horse for 2 or 3 weeks now. When I first started, it was really ugly. He was pushing really hard on the bit, fighting everything, wouldn't turn. Really, it wasn't good at all. So why would I ride a horse that I cannot get him to go right or left? When I get on his back, it's going to be the same thing. If I can't get him to turn right or left from the ground, I won't be able to get him to do it from the saddle. So I need to get all this working pretty well before I get on this horse's back. So I'm going to walk around in front of him here, because not only am I teaching him forwards, but I'm also teaching him to turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on this rein, which would be his left side. Pull on it. I'm going to pop him right there. Left turn. And he handled that really well. And you see he's fussing with that bit a little bit. I think he has some teeth issues. I think he needs his teeth floated. But not bad. Now I'm going to cluck to him. I just told him to trot. He didn't do it. I'm going to pop. So that's my gas pedal. When I get on this horse here in a minute, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to squeeze with my legs. I'm going to cluck to him with my mouth. And if he doesn't go, I'm going to pop him with the end of the rein. So it's the same set of cues from the ground that it is from the saddle. Oh, I want to stop. I want to back up. This backup's not very good, but it's there. Okay. Now all this will get better. I'll keep ground driving him even after I start riding him. Every day I'll kind of do the same thing. I'll come out, I'll lunge him, ground work him, ground drive him, and then ride him. And I'll do that every day for probably several weeks. Now we'll go the other direction. Right rein, pop him on the shoulder. Why do I pop him on the shoulder? Several reasons. Number one, I want that shoulder to move. And I want him to pivot on his hindquarters. But more than that, he needs to be able to take a little thumping. He needs to not freak out whenever he gets slapped with the rein. And he did, by the way, in the beginning. First time I did it, he jumped as high as he could jump because it scared him. But you know, that's just part of everyday life. When this horse gets a job to do in a couple of years, and So, and he needs to turn really fast. If somebody kicks him hard on the shoulder, he needs to turn, not freak out. And that's why a lot of horses hurt people, because they don't prepare the horse for what's coming. And that's what this is. I don't want him to be scared or shocked when I get on his back in a minute. It should be, oh, no problem, we can handle this. And he's doing really well. In the beginning, this side was horrible. But he's trotting around really nice, coming in a nice circle. I'm going to stop him. Oh, good stop there. I didn't even have to pull on the reins. Back up, back up, back up. Okay. And so that's just, all of this needs to be working before I would even think about riding this horse. How long does it take to get a horse here? Depends on the horse. I've had some I could do it in maybe a week or two. I've had some really tough ones that took more than a month, or even I had one that took 2 months. It just depends on the horse. So think of it like a pilot on an airplane. When that pilot gets ready to take off on any airplane, they have a pre-flight checklist, and everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be just right, or they don't fly. And so that's what this is. If I don't have everything exactly the way I want it, we don't fly. Okay, the one last thing I want to do before I get on him, and I've been doing this for several days now, is I want to simulate my legs kicking him. Because when I get on him, the cue to go will be kick with my legs, and then cluck, and then spank if I have to. But I want him to go when I kick with my legs. So what I'm going to do, hold the rein here, take the stirrup, I'm going to tap him right where my leg goes, and then cluck. And of course he didn't do well the first day. This is probably maybe the 4th or 5th day I've done this. So that I want him to associate that with go. Then I'll come around here, and I'll put him in and put it in his flanks, and I want him to move his hindquarters like that. Okay, very good. Then I'll put it up here by his shoulder, and I want him to move that shoulder over like that. So I'm simulating my leg when I get on this horse. Now forward, right in the belly. Okay, it's not good, but he's getting it. Okay, then I'll do it on the other side. Hindquarter yield, stop, back up. Okay, good. Now let me come to the other side. You always have to do both sides of the horse. You can never just do one side unless you want half your horse trained. Go. Better on this side. Okay, so the other thing is I want him to be okay with that bump in his belly. When I first started doing it, it scared him. And it still bothers him a little bit. See his ears there? But he's okay. I mean, he's not happy about it, but he's not going to buck me off because of that. All right, hindquarter yield. That wasn't very good. I'll kick him a little harder. Good. Okay. And then shoulder move. This side's not his good side, so he's freaky a little bit. Shoulder move, shoulder move, shoulder move, shoulder move. Okay, good. Forward, forward, forward. Okay. And it's, see that scared him just a little bit? I'm going to work on that. I'm going to flop that stirrup. Here, bud. Here, bud. Okay. I'm going to flop that stirrup a little bit. Because if that scares him now, then it'll probably scare him when I get in the saddle. I want him to be okay with that. I'm going to keep doing it until he relaxes, which I think he did right there. Okay, good. Good. Now get hindquarters. Hindquarters. Good. Okay. Now just double check. Top stirrup. Wave my hat around like this. Okay, there we go. Wave my hat here. All this is good. Okay. Check my cinch. It's okay. Now, bring him around here so you can see. So, everything you see now I've done before numerous times. Let me go ahead and climb on him. When I get ready to climb on, I'm going to put my toe in the stirrup. I'm going to bend his head to the left, which by the way, I have all of this working as well. I should have shown you that. When I pick up, he needs to give to the bridle like that, which he does. I've got that working pretty good both ways. Should have shown you that earlier. I do that before I even ground drive. Okay, good. So I'm going to tip his nose toward me about 30 degrees, about like that. All right, good. So that if he moves, which he won't. If he moves, then his hindquarters will move away from me if anything happens. All right, which you can see his ears, he's pretty relaxed. I've done this numerous times, but I have not straddled him. So this will be the first time. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna straddle him, put all my weight in the saddle, do this a couple of times, and get off. Okay, there's the first ride. Now, I'm gonna do more than that, but one of the reasons I do that, I do it the same way when I saddle a horse, is immediately I get off. Because when I get on, I want him to know that it's not a permanent situation. You know, that I'm gonna ride him and then I'm gonna get off. So same thing from this side, which is his bad side and mine as well. Tip his head this way. I need to be able to do everything from both sides. All right, I'm gonna come around here, I'm gonna put my legs on him, get my feet in the stirrups. This old saddle having trouble there, and then I'll sit right back off. Okay, so he's not upset. If he were upset, if that was bothering him, then I would not go ahead and ride him. I'd back up, I'd redo all my groundwork, I'd figure out why he's afraid, and I wouldn't move forward. So all this needs to be working. All right, I'm going to get back on from this side, get his head. Now I'm going to commit. I'm going to go ahead and put my foot in the stirrup. And I would say, just from experience, that first 2 seconds is the most dangerous part of being on the horse. Because most of the time when I've gotten hurt, it was before I got that other foot in the stirrup. Now you see his ears are laid back. He's a little bit not too happy right now. He's not too sure because this is the first time I've done this. And I'm talking a lot, and I'm seeing me wiggling around, so I think I'm going to get off again and just give him a chance to think about it. All right, walk over here. I want to make sure he's okay, because I don't know, that had him a little bit nervous, more than I expected. So I don't have to do anything else today. I don't have to prove anything to him or to me. All right, if this doesn't look good, you don't have to do it. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend him like I was doing on the ground. As long as I can do this, I'm pretty safe. As long as I've got him given to that bit, I'm pretty safe. Because he's not going to be able to do anything really bad with his head bit around. Okay? And you see him fighting it a little bit. So it feels different with me up here on his back. All right. You okay, buddy? All right, I call this horse Blackie, but I really don't know if he even has a name. Okay. Now, I'm going to bring his head around. I'm going to see if I can move his hindquarters by kicking him as I did earlier. Just like I was doing earlier with my hand. Let's see if I can get him to move. Right there. Okay. Good. Now that wasn't much. It wasn't very good. But he tried. He seemed like he understood what I was asking him to do. Bring his head around here. I'm going to do the same thing. Kick him in the flanks. Talk to him. Not as good on this side. See if I can just pop him with my hand a little bit. Come on. Yeah, just thinking about moving. Come on. We're not getting it. Okay. All right. Rather than me kicking him, and see, he's licking his lips, so he's not upset. He's not afraid. He just doesn't know what I'm asking him to do. Let's try it one more time. There, got it, got it, got it. Good. Good. Okay. Let's try it the other way. Move. There, good. Good. All right. My goal today is not necessarily to run this horse around this round pen. My goal today, which I've just accomplished, is to get on him not be afraid, move him just a little bit, and yield. See him just took a big deep breath when I got off. Like, oh, thank God he's done. To get him to yield his hindquarters, to not be too afraid, give me his face. That's all I need to accomplish on the first ride. And I know that a lot of people want to do more, and that's fine. This is just the way I do it. What I'll do tomorrow is I'll come out here and I'll expect a little bit more. I'll maybe ride him in a couple of 5-foot circles 2 or 3 times. And then the next day I'll do a little bit more. I've just found that what works for me is take everything slow and easy, one step at a time. Make sure everything's working. Don't take any shortcuts. Make sure everything's working. and then you and the horse will be safe. All right, thanks.